house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this speech a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
With us in the control booth, Bam.
What up?
Episode 237, College Football Week 8, NFL Week 7. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Good. Better.
Did you enjoy the time off?
No. I was sick, but more worried than sick, you know?
Worried, why?
Because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I went to the urgent care, and the fucking... the damn lady's like, when was your last encounter?
Like with anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's been a while. She's like, because it looks like HSV.
HSV.
Herpes simplex virus.
Oh, oh, she's saying encounter,
and I'm
like sexual encounter?
Yeah. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, oh, it doesn't make sense. And then, like, I'm fucking leaving, and I'm, like, looking it up, and it's like, oh, the virus can be in your body dormant for years or whatever. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I started looking up. I'm like, Is herpes ever go in the back of your throat? And it's like, yeah, for people with cancer and autoimmune disease. I'm like, oh fuck, I got fucking AIDS and herpes. So I spent the fucking whole weekend like just fucking anxious as all.
Oh, you were actually worried, like
yes. I was like, it's over for me, but it's over. Everything's over.
No way. Oh my God. She said, when were you last active? It's been a bit of a dry patch. I don't think it's been a while. I didn't know what the fuck you were referring to. Yeah, well, that's what, yeah, whatever. I didn't know.
So yeah, I'm like never, if I get sick, I'm never Googling anything again. Fuck that.
No, you
They'll
can't.
tell you you're dying.
Well, because all the major shit have so many symptoms. So you're going to have one or two of the symptoms, and normally you're going to probably be fine. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, you don't have herpes, right?
No, I fucking went to the doctor, made him test me for everything. I said, well, look, now I have to know. I said, I don't care. I said, we got to get tested. No, I don't have any
They
of
did
those.
like a whole STD?
I told him I need it all. I need to know everything.
Getting into some shady dealings or something?
No, just the fucking lady. And
She got in
it's
your
because
head.
after that, they never told me what it exactly was. Just that it was viral. And I'm like, oh, fucking AIDS is viral too, and herpes is viral. I'm like, I'm fucked.
I don't think AIDS is viral.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it can't be spread, though. Like, can't cough and fucking give somebody AIDS.
No, but it's spread through.
I guess, okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm not
It's a virus.
I guess. Whatever. I'm not a doctor. He's a chiropractor. Oh, yeah. I mean, well, you're on the mend. That's crazy that they got in your head. And
I'm just a little bit relieved after I got my test results.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to pay. I forgot I'd been putting it off. I got a ticket. I was driving. I was on my phone, and then I had an expired brake tag too, which I said we talked about on the podcast where I was like, I'll never get another brake tag. They got me. They got me. I still won't go get one, but yeah, he's like, you were on your phone. It looked like, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to be like the good citizen, and maybe he'll let me get out of here. And I was like, yes, sir. I was like, I was. And I was trying to change. Like, my daughter's in the back. She's crying. I'm trying to put her songs on the radio. So I was trying to do that on my phone real quick. Really, what I was doing, I was deep in an aggressive texting conversation about why LeBron James will never be the greatest of all time. And then I was like, wow, I wish I wasn't fucking texting that. And I wish I wasn't doing that. I wish I could have waited until I got back and not got a fucking $200 ticket. But he's running my information. I pick my phone back up and I'm like fucking finishing the message. I had like paragraphs written out about why he fucking 6 trips to the finals, never lost, never game 7. And then I just deleted it. I was like, fuck it. I was like, I lost this one. I was like, I'll take the loss here. So that sucked. I had to pay that because they're like, it was the last day. I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do if I don't fucking pay it. But yeah, anyway, hit the like and subscribe button. Episode 237. We got a couple things to dive into. It was a good week in the NFL. It was a great contest. It was the best week in the contest that we've had so far. College. This should have been the week I got him in college football, but we'll get into it. But my God, I had one of the worst beats in college that I've had in a long, long time. Bam, how are you feeling post weekend? Bam's got a golf trip coming up.
Yep.
Can't wait. You excited about that?
Very excited. One of the best weekends of the year for me.
Okay, well, that's sad, but yeah, y'all love to do just other shit during football season. You're running and getting venereal diseases, and then, or is that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. The terminology escapes me. Anyway, Bam texted me, say, "Hey, you want to go golfing this weekend?" I said, "No. I don't want to do anything other than fucking watch football during football season. Y'all want to do all this other shit."
I love golf.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't running during football, though.
I thought it was Sunday morning.
Yeah, it was. Well, one game.
Yeah, you missed the London game. That was another thing I was thinking. I love the London game. I've come around on it.
I fucking hate that game.
I've come around. I think it's a perfect start to the day on Sunday because normally on Sundays I'm like,
it's never that great of a game.
No, that's one thing for sure. It always sucks. But
why aren't they like making a good game go?
No, I know. You would think to spread the game that they would want to like, let's send the fucking Chiefs and the Bills over there and let them see the top tier football that we have to offer. Yeah, no, we say here's Justin Fields with -10 passing yards. But I will say it's the perfect start to a Sunday. Bam's fucking all over the place with the cameras. I saw that. That was mid-conversation. He just put it on your face for 10 seconds.
Finger hit it.
Okay. Right. He's thinking about his golf trip. Yeah, it's the perfect start to Sunday. And I always spend hours where I'm like, fuck, all right, can the game start? And this is like, it's the perfect build-up because the game ends at like 11:30. And you go do whatever you needed to do in the short amount of time before the noon window starts, and then you can lock in. But yeah, he's asking me, you want to go golfing? I'm assuming it was a Saturday, but I don't know what day. You went to the Saints game, so it must have been Saturday.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, it's like, no. I literally told my wife, she had a work trip right before the season started. I said, good. Now we can bunker down, and we're not doing anything until the new year. And I'm serious. Like, she asked, like, oh, do you want to go? She's got another work trip. Do you want to go to Boston or whatever? I'm like, no, I don't want to. I literally don't want to go anywhere until April. Until March Madness is in the books, I don't want to do anything. But yeah, so Bam's got his golf trip. So he's going to be gone for 10 days. So we're going to have to find somebody next episode.
10? Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. All right. Couple things. James Franklin got fired from Penn State. Somebody finally did it. We've been saying where these guys, these coaches with these crazy buyouts can't do it because you have all this money that you got to eat. Do you think Penn State made the right decision?
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't think – I understand different circumstances. He's been at Penn State way longer than Brian Kelly, but the knock was like not that Brian Kelly's done a great job. It was we can't get rid of him because of the buyout. So James Franklin has a $50 million buyout.
Yeah. Well, they did the right thing because they're not going to win anything with him, right?
Yeah.
I think it's been long enough that that's proven to be a fact. So.
Yeah, and I do think it's funny that the when they're losing, everybody's like, you got to fire James Franklin. And then they fire him, and everybody's like, whoa, what a dumb decision. You just fired a guy who gets you 10 wins every year. But it is a fact. It's going to be the same thing every year. You're going to lose to Ohio State. You're going to lose to the top teams every single year because he does it every year. And, he was a play away from going to the national championship. In a different circumstance where it's a 12-team playoff now. Before, you wouldn't be in that situation. What, they got to play SMU and Boise State? And then did they play one more in the semifinals?
Yeah, who'd they?
It wasn't Boise to get to the national championship. It had to be one more. I'm blank. Ohio State played Texas, and Notre Dame, because Notre Dame got to the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, that was a close game against Notre Dame.
Yeah, Aller pissed down his leg and threw the pick at the end. But the fact of the matter is, James Franklin has a clear ceiling at Penn State, and probably anywhere he goes. But it was an inability to develop the quarterback position and expand the offense, either an inability or a refusal to do it. Like, Aller doesn't look good. Aller, they wanted him to be a game manager, and that's what he is. And I don't really understand why. Why, with all the money and all the resources and that these programs have, why are you not trying to duplicate the LSU offense in some semblance,
Mm-hmm.
I get, Big Ten football, we're up in the north, we're just going to run it and then fucking try to pick up 3rd and 3 through the air if we have to. Like, clearly doesn't work. You have to evolve or you get run over, and that's what happened. But I do think it's funny how the narrative switches where everybody's like, you got to fire James Franklin because this is his ceiling, and it's the same thing every year, and they're the laughing stock. And then they fire him, and they're like, you fucking bozos just fired a great coach. What are you going to do now? The buyout and all this and that. Like, the narrative flips so fast. I think they undoubtedly made the decision they had to make. Or you just be stuck in purgatory, basically, where you're just living the same thing over and over again, but you're never going to win the big one. So, because if they got to go play that Ohio State team, they were going to get run out of the building, and without a doubt, it's just the way it was. But I just think, so you think they did make the correct decision?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think about? Did you watch the Georgia game? Keep an eye on it.
No, I didn't watch much of it.
Well, you're just in a dark room, fucking hoping you don't have HIV.
Well, that was the weekend before.
What?
This past weekend, I was okay.
Oh, right. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
So
been
you were
sick
kind of
for
gotcha.
10 days.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Kirby Smart clearly calls timeout, and then blatantly lies about it on the field and in the post game 20 different times, like doubled and tripled down on the fact that he said they're clapping. Clear as day, he's doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, timeout. And then when they give it to him, you see him look up, and he does say they're clapping. He says it one time. And then he goes out there and throws like the mannerisms and the way he was moving his body was just weird, where he's aggressively trying to say, I was clapping, I wasn't calling timeout. But, like, I don't know, to see a grown man fucking move his body like that, I was like, it just looked weird. But he clearly lied, and the referee let him do it. What are your thoughts on that? I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I did see the video evidence of him clearly using the timeout.
You can read his lips, and he's doing this. But you can clearly read his lips, and then I watched closely. I'm pretty positive one time at the end he goes, they're clapping. And he verbally says it. But it was at the end. He goes, timeout. Referee goes like this, and then he goes, they're clapping. And then runs out there and puts on a performance. But if you're the referee, he's in your ear. He just said timeout. You blow your whistle to call timeout. He goes crazy, and then you get to go, never mind. Like I don't even understand. They should investigate that referee.
Yeah, that is strange. But I mean, I wasn't watching it during the game, so I only saw the clip.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, what was like the situation?
So I had double quad boxes going. I know it was later in the game, and it was a close game. Auburn had a chance to go up 17-0. That was another thing that I would say clear as day. Arnold crossed the goal line with the ball, but it got punched out, and they overturned it. I haven't seen anybody that said, like that was a good call. It looked clear as day. They froze it as the fist is like basically making contact, but not yet. They froze it. He's across the goal line. All three of the announcers were like, what? Like, I think it was McDonough, and he was like, oh, my God. Like, I don't even know how they came to that. He said, we had a 3-person sweep. We all agreed that this was a touchdown, and they took it off the board, and then obviously they lose the game, and just the implications that has. If you beat Georgia, that, like, for Hugh Freeze, that could be a job-saving win and all of that. So, I don't know. But it was, I mean, a second half timeout is critical. So, and to use it, and it was like a weird spot to use it, I'm pretty sure. Or I don't know. I think, yeah, Georgia was on offense. So, yeah, the play clock was just running down. And then he was trying to, at the end, say, like, oh, they're signaling the imitating the snap or whatever on the defense. But I don't know. Regardless, the fact of the matter is, it's like they can't allow that shit to happen because that's so easily avoidable. There's no way that referee's got to have integrity and know and acknowledge, like, okay, he called timeout. You called it. I acknowledged it. We blew the whistle. Like, you can't overturn it. So I don't know. It's just another example of what appears to be like preferential treatment for the top teams. But you got to feel for Auburn. That was a good spot for Auburn too. I know a lot of people liked them. I didn't have the balls to take them, but you go in 17-0. It's like Arnold's just not good. Is what it boils down to. He was missing too many throws, but that Auburn roster is pretty good. All right, couple other things. Really one other thing, two other things actually. We finally have what feels like parity back in the NFL, where I don't know who the top team is. So, like, if you had to pick today, who would you pick? Super Bowl. Not worried about odds or value or anything. Just your life's on the line. You got to pick one team to win the Super Bowl.
I guess right now the Chiefs.
Interesting. Bam, who would you pick?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Probably, I don't know. I have a weird feeling the Bucs can make a run.
Do you really?
Hey, anything's possible.
The Bucs is in, like, the Buccaneers?
I like the Bucs.
What odds you want on that? I'll make that bet with you right now.
No, I'm good.
Serious? Okay. I'll give you fucking 50,000 to 1. That's crazy. I mean, they're not winning. The Bucs are not winning the Super Bowl, though. The Bucs are not winning the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield's playing incredible, and to be quite honest with you, should be the front runner for the MVP award. But with the injury, the Bucs are about to hit a downturn here soon. With the injuries at wideout and that defense is not good.
Yeah.
But of all the picks, that's crazy. I mean, I guess that falls into. I mean, you think the Buccaneers have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl?
No, but then again, it's like, who does?
That's what I was about to say. So I guess it kind of falls into the point I'm making, is that there's parity back in the league, and it's up for grabs. Yeah, we've been very low on Tampa, and I've been on the wrong side of all the Baker Mayfield comebacks, it feels like, but the chickens are going to come home to roost for Tampa, I think, here soon. He can't keep getting away with it, with what he's been doing. Yeah, I would probably still go with the Packers. But I think there's a legitimate argument for a bunch of different teams. And it's like all the teams that were the betting favorites coming in, like the Ravens look like shit. The Eagles look like shit. The Bills, wouldn't say they look like shit, but they lost to a team that we think is good, and the Falcons on the road. You lost to the Patriots, who have an emerging superstar quarterback who we've been talking about for a while. But yeah, I think there's a legitimate argument for a lot of different teams. And like you saw the Jaguars beat the Chiefs 2 weeks ago, whatever. Yeah. You just saw the Seahawks go on the road to Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars. You've got the Rams wishy-washy, but nobody's going to want to play the Rams in the postseason. I don't know. So you would take the Chiefs, Bam, you would take the Buccaneers. I said for your life on it.
I didn't hear that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go Packers, but
I mean, Packers lost to the damn Browns.
No, I know, and I mean that was we were on the right side of that, but
It is crazy, though, because, like, probably after, 3 weeks, it was looking like the Bills were really good, right? And then the Eagles and the Chargers. But then all those teams have kind of fell off within the past
Yeah, I
the
didn't even
next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the Chargers.
So it's like, it's really going to come down to, obviously, the Chargers are dealing with some injuries and the Lions, too, on defense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of good teams.
You got the Broncos, too. The Broncos' defense is incredible.
Yeah.
But it's like that's another team that you don't want to have to play them. There's so many of those teams that it's like, are they going to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. But you don't want to have to play them in the postseason. There's a ton of those teams. The Colts are not going to win shit, but you don't want to play them. You don't want to have to run into a balanced offense with, like, Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if he's leading the league in rushing, but he's got to be up near the top. But just there's a lot of solid teams. And I guess that's what you get when the top teams have struggles, because same thing, you still don't want to play the Eagles with your season on the line. You know what I mean? And then the Bills, like you want to take on Josh Allen, same thing. It's like there's holes in all of these teams, but it's a lot of quality teams. If the 49ers were to get healthy, like, you don't want to run into them. And it's a good, so the moral of the story is this is a good thing. This means we're setting up for a potentially incredible postseason run in the NFL. So I'm excited for it. I'm ready to, and we're in the midst of a fantastic start to our NFL betting season. I think we're both north of 60%. I think I'm just over 61. You're just over 62. So feeling good. All right, let's get into our college football recap and dive into some best bets. Little discombobulated of a start. You dropped the bomb on us that you were potentially going to be terminally ill if you had AIDS.
But I don't.
Yeah.
Let's make that clear.
All right. Like I said, this was supposed to be the week that I got him. We were supposed to get him this week. That's what it boils down to. ECU +7 on Thursday. We push. But when I tell you, dude, this was a disaster in the truest sense of the form. Tulane scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. And they had the ball inside, like, the 20-yard line. ECU is clearly trying to let Tulane score. It's the only way that they have a chance. It's a tie ball game. They are letting Tulane score so they can get the ball back with 40 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it was. So the smart thing to do is run the ball, get in position, because they did this play where Retzlaff looked like he was about to go down. I don't know if you were watching or not, but he looked like he was about to go down, and he goes, oh, surprise, throws it to the guy in the flat, and he's trying to score. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they tackle him inside the 10. Clock's rolling. So at this point, they can run it down to 2 seconds, kick the field goal, and they have a great kicker. Essentially a guaranteed win. They get under center. They run the same goddamn play where Retzlaff looks like he's going down. So I'm like, oh, thank God. Fuck. And he rolls out, throws it to him again, wide open. They're letting them score. And the guy who tackled him the first time, I think, he put his hands up. I think he was like, oh, fuck, I was supposed to let him score. That's why I was like, please don't do it again, because they're going to let you go in this time. They did. They go up 7. ECU gets the ball back. They get to midfield. They fucking throw a heave to the end zone, almost get it. It was a fucking joke. Summerall, I think I don't know. He wins games, but he might be fucking dumb. Because if you look at the team, this was costing them. Tulane was penalized 11 times for almost 100 yards.
Yeah.
It was every single time they got inside the 5 or 10 yard line, they got a false start. Like clockwork. It was crazy. They're an extreme, and they were penalized coming in. They're a heavily penalized team coming into the game. But that decision right there was insane to me. Just fucking kneel it and kick the field goal for the win. It would have been a 10-yard fucking field goal. And so, anyway, we push. +7. That should have been a winner in our pocket. That was tough. Then we had Rutgers and Washington over 59 as my lock of the week on Friday. This was one that it's just put it in the category of one that I won't be able to forget. You had over 1,000 yards of offense. We needed over 59. There was 57 points scored. You had over 1,000 yards of offense. You had 4 turnovers inside the 10-yard line if you count turnover on downs. You had 2 missed field goals, one under 40 yards. The other one, I think, was 45 yards. And then you had a missed 2-point conversion. Damon Williams Jr., one of those 4 turnovers, was running all over Rutgers. He's running into the end zone to score. Essentially, he might have been down at the 1 where they had tackled him, but they ripped the ball out. So you're about to be inside the 1, if not in the end zone. They rip the ball out as he's going in. At the end of the game, Callie McManus, I took a picture of it. There's a receiver wide open. It's a back corner of the end zone with the slant underneath. The slant underneath is wide open. So he's clearly either shaving points or he's locked in on the back corner of the end zone, and that was covered, and then he panics, rolls out, and just throws it up for an interception on like 2nd down or 3rd down. Like it wasn't like, oh, 4th down, this is it. I got to give my guy a chance, and he didn't. He threw a fucking lollipop to nobody. It was unbelievable. I would have bet I literally think this hits 95 out of 100 times. I think this goes over. Rutgers was moving so fast, like running tempo the whole time. To get 4 fucking 2 turnovers for each team, both on like the 1-yard line. Mm-hmm. And then 2 turnover on downs inside the 10-yard line. Fucking unbelievable. That was like, and then you got to go to sleep after that. Like, how am I supposed to go to sleep after that? I'm not even kidding. That cost me a fucking arm and a leg. So we should have been 2-0 to start. I know, crying over spilled milk. Should have been 2-0. We were 0-1-1. Started off Saturday with the Red River Shootout, Texas -1.5. John Mateer was not healthy. That's what that boils down to. And I felt like if he played, we were getting a non-100% John Mateer. If he didn't play, we're getting Hawkins. So, which is probably worse than a 50% Mateer. Texas won 23-6. Oklahoma really just couldn't do anything on offense, and Mateer was reckless with the ball. And that's where it's hard to, like, decipher, I guess. So if he's not healthy and he's out there, like, the ball had zip on it. You know what I mean? So was his brain not healthy? Because it's like it didn't look like, oh, he couldn't throw. He was throwing, and the ball was coming out of his hand pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the decision-making was poor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they've got a game against South Carolina coming up this weekend, and it's like, okay, is he not healthy? It's hard to, like, because he was running and he was taking hits, but the ball didn't look like it was floating out of his hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so Texas covers the 1.5. They won 23-6. We had Florida +7.5. Florida stinks. Basically what it boils down to. I don't remember even what the score was, but this was A&M looked good. They look sharp. USC -2.5. We were both on it. They pretty much dominated Michigan. I think that's I think I would call it a dominating win. They had 489 yards of offense. Michigan had 316. They held them to 2-9 on 3rd down. Ran the ball for 224 on a really good Michigan defense. I don't know if you saw what happened. A little bit of that. I think they got fined $5,000. I don't know how closely you were watching. They had 1, maybe 2 running backs get hurt. So they had a running back listed as out. And at halftime, he went and suited up and played.
Oh, wow. That's only how much fine?
$5,000.
That's it?
Yeah, that does. I fucking do that every time.
That seems like cheating.
Yeah, it is cheating. They
But like,
yeah,
more than $5,000 worth of cheating. That seems like.
I'm assuming it was this. I don't know if it was King Miller, who went for 18 carries, 158 yards. But I don't know. It might have been Jordan. But yeah, they suited him up at halftime. So actually, he's okay. And then yeah, that's definitely cheating. But who gives a shit? They cover the number. LSU -8.5. They cover, but God bless. What's wrong with Nussmeier?
It's just who he is.
Do you still put him in the gunslinger category?
Yeah.
We're not really getting any of the positives of the gunslinger.
I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
What'd you like? I don't know. Hilton's got to catch that ball. That was a good ball. I just feel like there's been...
Yeah, also
like with
the
the
one
Brett
with
Favre,
Anderson, like Anderson didn't make that great of an effort for that ball. I thought that was a decently thrown ball.
I'm blanking.
In the end zone where he was calling for a flag, and maybe it was a flag, but you got to give a better
he
effort.
did. He got his shoulder pulled. But I agree with you. But
he kind of just like, you got to at least get your hands on that ball and make it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I do, when you look at the replay, I think as he was like going to make a move, you can see it was pretty hard to notice, I guess, but it's a clear pull on the shoulder for sure that impeded him. Yeah, I don't know. I think Nussmeier's, it's like with Brett Favre. Like he was when I think gunslinger, I think Brett Favre. And it's like you were getting like fucking 390 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And that one pick was like, oh, he launched one into double coverage, and now he's a gunslinger. It's like, but he still went for nearly 403 touchdowns. So I'm ready to get the both sides of the gunslinger spectrum, I guess. But I think he has something wrong with his brain.
Yeah, I don't like the second interception.
That was fucking horrible. I can understand
like the
a ball
play call there.
I can understand a ball sailing on you. Like that's going to happen every now and then. And okay, safety was sitting there, and that sucks. But yeah,
I don't know why you're doing an RPO there.
Yeah.
Like with no room over it. Like obviously the safety's going to be coming down there because there's no threat
to get beat over the top.
Yeah.
But he can't throw that, dude. When he did, I was like, oh my
he's
God.
reading a linebacker like traditionally you would do on an RPO.
I know, but...
And the linebacker comes down, and then he just throws it, not paying attention to the safety, but it's just like, it's a stupid idea to even call that play right there.
I agree, but I still feel like he deserves a chunk of the blame there. You can't throw that ball. I get the play call's dumb, but like we got to trust that he's not going to fucking turn the ball over at that critical juncture of the game, but also at that area on the field. You have to come away with points there. And then us not being able to fucking get a goddamn 1-yard run.
He had it. He just fumbled it.
I was more referring to Durham. I'm tired of somebody us not having somebody to run somebody over at the point of attack. I understand the offensive line not doing a great job, but he met the linebacker at the fucking line of scrimmage, one-on-one. At some point, we got to have somebody who's going to run somebody over. But yeah, and then I hate the play call, the fucking quarterback sneak with your quarterback who's been limping all game.
Yeah, who gets smacked every fucking time he drops back.
Yeah. But it's like clearly his ankle's hurt. What do you think he's going to fucking push off with into the damn line? That was crazy. And then then he did fumble it, and then he nearly fumbled the snap on the second one. I don't know. Anyway, LSU covers the number.
But the first fumble.
Yeah.
Fucking Jawan Johnson. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be a touchdown if he just fucking practices ball security there. It's like LSU, really. I mean, you look at the box score. They should have won by 30. But there was at least three turnovers, right?
Yeah. For LSU?
Because there's two scoring opportunities that resulted in turnovers because of both interceptions.
Yeah.
Were going to be scoring opportunities, at least a field
goal. You had the overthrow,
you
had the RPO, you had the Johnson fumble, and then he recovered his fumble on the goal line. No, that should have been a 30-point win because they had Lenore Sellers running to nowhere all night.
Yeah.
Like, it was an incredible effort from the defense. Other than the one explosive run where they took it 75 yards, you take that off the board, if they stopped that, it was a pretty much not even pretty much, it was a spotless night from the defense if that doesn't happen. So, this should have been an easy win for LSU because it became very apparent. Like South Carolina, unless they get a miracle run, they're not going to score points. There's just nothing they can do. The defense is too much for them. So, regardless, they cover the number. Then throw it fucking pile it on top with very on brand of how this weekend went. Like I said, this should have been the fucking weekend we got them. Arizona plus 2.5 to end the night. I stayed up till 2 in the morning watching this. This shit went to double overtime. BYU, been talking about them. Think they're overrated. Arizona was at home. BYU scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to tie it. We go to overtime. They win by 6. Bachmeier fumbled the ball. I don't know if you saw the clip. He fumbled the ball, down 7. There was so many Arizona players around it, and somehow BYU came up with it. And he was definitely short of the line to gain where they recovered the fumble. They just gave him a first down. Didn't even bat an eye at it. I don't know where the fuck Brent Brennan is for Arizona saying, hey, I think he was short. You can see the guy who recovers it in the pile, and when he gets up and where he's at, he's short of the line to gain. It should have been 4th and 1, and they just gave it to him. And then they force overtime, and BYU pulls another rabbit out of their hat. But Arizona plus 2.5 should have been a winner. Rutgers Washington over should have been a winner, and ECU should have been a winner. We should have been looking at fucking, what's that, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1. Should have been a 6 and 1 week with a bad pick in Florida. You got to give me a fucking break. I'm pulling my hair out. I feel like I'm in the right. I feel like I'm in the right direction, and we're knocking on the door of success, but we're not there yet. We haven't been able to fucking get in. 3-3-1 on the week brings me to 24-33-2, 2-5 in my locks of the week. That Rutgers Washington over, dude. That shit will haunt me for a long time. You had a good week. 3-1-1.
Yeah. We pushed with Alabama. Kind of annoying there because it felt like Alabama was a superior team here for most of this game. And then they end up going up by 10 there late. And Missouri kind of backdoors it. And then, honestly, they got the ball back there down 3, but failed to get in field goal range, I'm pretty sure. Because they threw an interception. That was the big key thing here. Pabula, how many interceptions did he throw?
2.
Yeah.
162 yards passing.
So, yeah, that's the way that game ended is Missouri, they got the ball back, and he threw an interception before they could get in field goal range.
The impressive part was Hardy was leading the nation in rushing, I think. They held him to 52 yards.
Yeah.
He only got 12 carries, but they did his longest run was 11 yards. They bottled him up.
But, yeah, it felt like, man, the first half, Alabama dominated, then Missouri kind of bounced back a little bit, but then at the end, felt like we had a winner, but got backdoored there. Eastern Michigan plus 1.5. Kind of a strange game here because all of Eastern Michigan's games have been pretty high scoring here. They won this game 16-10. NC State plus 22.5. It was 10-7 at halftime, and then the whole second half you're just, waiting for the floodgates to open. All right, and they end up opening up there late, and Notre Dame ends up winning by, I think, 28 or 29 points. NC State had a chance there to backdoor there at the end with a meaningless touchdown, but the third interception of the half for C.J. Bailey puts this one away.
He threw 3 in the second half?
Yeah.
Jesus, I was keeping tabs on it, but I wasn't watching.
USC minus 2.5. You talked about it. Colorado State plus 6.5. This game was a really strange game. I didn't bet this game thinking that they were going to win by 28, but I thought they would have success running the ball. They did. Big thing for Fresno here is a lot of turnovers. I think 3 interceptions thrown and another fumble loss, so 4 total turnovers.
Yeah.
Resulted in a lot of points for Colorado State here.
Yeah, they outgained them by 130 yards.
Yeah, the first
and they
half.
lost by fucking 30.
I think they were up 21 at half.
It was 35-14.
Yeah, and then it was like it got to the second half, and man, Fresno State really kind of. It seemed like they were battling back in this game, and then it was just a couple more turnovers there that kind of put the game out of reach.
Yeah, I was watching a running back for Colorado State because I had it on the double box. This kid Marshall. He didn't get the ball often, but he was He averaged 13 yards a carry. I was like, every time I watch, every time he touched the ball, he was fucking running.
What number?
29.
Did he have any catches?
No.
Okay.
You're probably thinking, well, no, I don't know.
Might have been a different game.
Yeah. Yeah, but he.
Oh, yeah, that's Eastern Michigan's running back.
Okay.
Pretty good receiver out of the backfield.
So, yeah, a good week.
Same colors, though, with the green.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, 3-1-1. You hit your lock easily. 17-19-2. 5-2 in your locks of the week. Should have been a fucking sweep of the locks this week. But it's what it is. Bam, how did you do?
I had 3 plays, went 2-1. Started off with Bama Mizzou under 52. Got kind of lucky there with the pick at the end to kind of ice that because the number hit 51. And then I had TCU, Kansas State over 55.5. Kansas State almost hit this number themselves. Not really, but easy winner there.
I mean,
and then my
They
lock.
scored 40-something points.
They scored like
who won this
44,
game?
41,
What
something
was
like
the
that.
game? What was the score?
K-State beat them.
Yeah, it was like 40-something to 21.
Yeah,
So
I don't know why you said not really, because they did, almost.
they were like 14 points away from hitting it themselves, but still.
That's goddamn 40-plus points for a team on a 50-point total. They nearly got it themselves.
But yeah, easy winner there. And then my lock was Illinois plus 14.5 against Ohio State, and they ended up losing by like 17 or something like that. So yeah, 2-1 puts me at 9-9 on the year, 3-3 in my locks of the week.
Okay.
Got
All righty.
back even.
Now we know what 9-9 means. Now we turn our attention to college football week 8. Let's see here. How many total do you have?
4.
3 in a lock? Bam said he's only got 1.
I added 1,
Okay, great.
so I got 1 on the lock.
Okay. So Bam added 1 within the last half hour. I'm trying to get an update on numbers just to make sure nothing's moving on us. Alrighty. Yeah, I have a good bit, and I'm willing to add more. This is what happens when I feel like I should have had a 6-1 week last week and they stole it from me. Now I feel like I got to fucking bet 20 games and get them back. All right, let's see. All right, does anybody have we got games every single day. We've reached that point that I was talking about last week where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there will be football on for the next month. We've got games on as we speak. Do you have anything for Wednesday?
No.
Do you have anything for Thursday?
Nope.
Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have something for Wednesday. I just wanted to see if you were doing any midweek. All right. We are going to go to Delaware versus Jacksonville State. Delaware's 2.5-point road favorites. The total sits at 57.5. I've kept my eye on this Delaware team. They have talent, especially in the secondary. They lost their last game to Western Kentucky, but they fumbled going into the end zone for a touchback. They threw a pick 6 where the DN jumped up and just made an incredible play. It wasn't like it was a terrible decision by the quarterback. It was more of just a tip your cap, really good play by the D lineman. That flipped the game on its head. Delaware should have won this game. Nick Minicucci's the quarterback for Delaware. He's one of those gritty, he'll do it with his legs. He'll pick up the first down running if he has to. He's looks like one of those tough players that you kind of want to. I always seem to find myself back in these type of guys for some reason. Both schools have a solid run defense, so I do think it's going to come down to Minicucci outplaying the quarterback for Jacksonville State, and I phrase it that way because they've been kind of bouncing back and forth. They had Gavin Wimsatt, the Rutgers transfer. I think he was also at Kentucky for a little while. Kind of had some hype when he was coming into his college career. He just can't pass. That's what it boils down to. He's not good enough throwing the football. Last game, they went to Caden Creel, who is a little bit better of a pocket passer, but not really. In my opinion, he looked like shit. He had 0 big-time throws, 4 turnover-worthy plays. His ADOT was 4 yards. His average depth of target was 4 yards. He was very conservative with the ball, wasn't pushing it downfield, and had little to no success. He did have success running with it, using his legs. So that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to lean on the run and pound the rock. I think Delaware will have a good enough run defense to put them in obvious passing down situations, and he's not going to be able to beat them with his arm. I think Minicucci will be able to make the necessary plays to get Delaware to the window here. Delaware, it is noteworthy, does have like 6 extra days of rest in this game. And we're going to take the Blue Hens. -2.5 is the first play of the week on a Wednesday. This Jacksonville State team I don't think is very good. I'm not saying Delaware is a world beater by any means, but I think that they're more balanced on offense, and that I think they do have some talent on the defensive side of the ball. So give me the Blue Hens -2.5 to start it off. You have nothing for Thursday, but you do have games on Friday?
Yeah.
How many?
1.
Okay. I have 2 with a possible 3, but I think I might have scratched. Yeah, I scratched 1. What's your 1 for Friday?
I'm a little nervous about this one. Nebraska, Minnesota.
That's the one I scratched. I will unscratch it.
We're gonna go Minnesota +8.5.
I'm unscratching it. I was on them. I'm back on them. Go ahead.
I get so this number's grown a little bit. I get it. Minnesota's been kind of struggling a little bit lately here. They haven't been able to run the ball very well, and the defense hasn't played great either. But 8.5 feels like too many points here for Nebraska to be laying on the road.
I agree. And yeah, this opened at like 4. Got bet up fast. I want to say almost touched 10. Little bit of buyback. We're getting an 8.5 is the best number I see currently. Let me read through my scratch out here. Yeah, I literally put first thing. This nearly got bet up to 10 yesterday. What have you seen from Nebraska to feel confident laying this much of a number? Defense looks pretty good, I understand. Raiola doesn't look that good to me. I don't know if you watched his last game. He threw 3 terrible interceptions. Each one was worse than the next one, than the previous one. He had a pick 6 that nearly cost him the fucking game. He's rolling out to his left, throwing it back to the right, making just dumb decisions. I'm still a believer in Drake Lindsey, quarterback for Minnesota. They've left a lot to be desired. They got outgained against Purdue pretty big. Still managed to pull out the win there. This is my last-ditch effort. And like I said, I scratched it out. I said, fuck it. But we're moving in the right direction. Or we're thinking alike in this one. So I'm unscratching it. I'm back on the Golden Gophers. We're going to row the boats. Yeah, I think just at this number, it's too high at this point. I think it's too high. It opened at 4. Now we're looking at 8.5. I think it's gone too far. So yeah, Golden Gophers +8.5. I am also on Louisville and Miami. You had to at least look at this one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Were you considering anything, side or total? I'm on the total.
No, yeah, I would consider taking Miami here, laying the points.
Yeah, there's no way. I just can't do it we've been on Louisville a couple times this year. I've been kind of politicking for Jeff Brom and his ability to call plays, and Miller Moss looked good to start the year. That's gone to shit. That's gone. Miller Moss is not good. And to be quite honest with you, when pressured, Miller Moss fucking stinks. He loses his mind. I would go as far as to say he's like a retarded Garrett Nussmeier when pressured. It's that bad. And look, I get it. 2025, it's back. We can say the word again. It's that fucking bad. He makes the dumbest decisions I've ever seen when pressured. And the problem for him here is that this is far and away the best D-line that they have seen all year. So I cannot confidently back Louisville in this one. And they have a very talented running back in Isaac Brown, but he's been battling injuries all year. You can tell. He's not as explosive as he was. Is he getting healthier? Perhaps, maybe. But Colin Lacey's not as explosive as he used to be at wide receiver. Doesn't feel like he's just not. He's not putting up the numbers like I expected to see with this Louisville offense coming into this season. Miami, on the other hand, has pretty much passed every test with flying colors. They dominated Florida State. They took their foot off the gas, and we almost got lucky with an improbable backdoor cover. They have shown a willingness to take their foot off the gas, but they also want to establish the run. They're at the top in terms of rushing attempts, and they want to lean on the run and allow that to open up the play action game for Carson Beck. And he's playing well. He's not putting the ball up for grabs too often, and I think he's looked poised and he's making the right decisions. One thing with Louisville that I've been impressed with, though, is on the defensive side of the ball. They have a solid defense. I think they will have a solid enough defense to contain the run, and just stylistically with the way that this game's going to be played, we're going to go under. It's come down a little bit. We're going to go under 52. The worry here is that Miller Moss throws to the wrong team and they return it for a touchdown, because he will do that. He did that. They played when they played Pitt. He nearly cost them the game. But then Virginia, same thing. They lost to Virginia their last time out. He's just not playing well, and I don't see a scenario. Their offensive line. That's another thing. Their offensive line. So in the last 2 games, Miller Moss has 4 big-time throws, 8 turnover-worthy plays. He's getting sacked an average of 3 times per game. That's a combination of him holding on to the ball too long, but also his offensive line is not playing well. And I just don't see how it's going to go well against Miami. So, yeah, I'm going to go under. Louisville, Miami, under 52. I want to say Miami's had every single game. Oh, I'm sorry. They played on the road at Florida State. Other than that, every single one of their games have been at home. What is that? What is that? I think Missouri was the same way.
Yeah, it was crazy. They started 4 straight games at home.
Yeah. They're back at home again. Look, I like Louisville. I like Jeff Brom. I do think Jeff Brom's a very good offensive mind and good coach. But at some point, you just got to – the writing's on the wall. Miller Moss is just not good. And if he comes out and he lights it up this game, so be it. And we'll take our medicine, and it is what it is. But I just don't see it. So I can't confidently back Louisville, and I really just think that this Miami defense is going to have a day. So we're under 52. And then, yeah, so we're going to have 3 plays for Friday. We're going to North Carolina and Cal. And it's one of those situations where is Bill Belichick leaving? Is he staying? Is he going? He claims he's not going anywhere. There's rumors circulating that he might be open to a buyout, and they canceled the Hulu documentary, and it's not good over there. We know that. We've seen anytime they played somebody with a pulse, they've gotten run out of the building. This is kind of one of those last-ditch efforts where we're going to back Cal again, and we're going to lay 10 points with the Golden Bears. Yeah, we're going to lay 10 with Cal. This North Carolina defense is not good. The offense is worse. With the style of play with the Golden Bears with Sunga Politelli, I think that they're going to be able to put points up on the board. I'm a little shell-shocked after what we saw last time with Duke. They got off to an incredible start and completely fell off a cliff. I think you're going to see Cal put up a big number here. That's really what it boils down to. I'm still a believer in this kid at quarterback. I'm going to lay the 10. And I'm going to fade North Carolina until they prove me wrong or Bill Belichick gets fired. So Cal minus 10 as the final play for Friday. And then we turn our attention to Saturday. Bam, give us your one before you lock.
All right, going to Texas Tech at Arizona State. Going with the first half bet here. I'm taking Texas Tech minus 4.5 in the first half.
Okay.
They always seem to start off pretty hot. Last 4 or 5 games. So I'm just going to take that number.
Okay. One cause for concern there is Baron Morton got hurt again, which is he gets hurt every goddamn game. So that's one thing to monitor. I don't know if he might play. I don't think it was anything crazy serious, but obviously we saw the backup come in and have success against Utah. But yeah, so that's one noteworthy bit of information. What is your first one for Saturday?
I'm gonna go to Ole Miss, Georgia.
Okay, interesting.
Gonna lay 7 with Georgia here at home. I think Ole Miss is the most overrated team in the country. I think Georgia dominates this game at the line of scrimmage. I think Georgia probably runs the ball all over Ole Miss here. So I think Georgia wins this game big.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that as well because I was right there too. It's never good when you have Lane Kiffin in the post game on the field being like, I had to tell him don't go back to that Division II stuff, like with the quarterback. It's like that's not good if we're even like he clearly wasn't playing well. They were given a scare by I'm blanking on who it was.
Washington State.
Yeah, that was a close game down the stretch. Yeah, this Ole Miss team's not as good as the number by their name, and they have a very poor run defense. And LSU, it's a shame that with how poorly we played, we only lost by 5 on the road. So yeah, I'll take Georgia as well. After everything going on too with Kirby and the bad look and all of that from the previous game, you get people to forget that you cheated if you beat the team by 40. So, alrighty, I am gonna go to. Are you on LSU Vanderbilt?
No.
Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take LSU plus 2.5. This is the first time in a damn century that might be the second time ever that Vanderbilt's favored over LSU. And I understand, and again, it's like I said last week we took LSU versus South Carolina. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe the offense is just going to be bad all year. But I still have a hard time believing that we're not going to figure it out with the weapons that we have on the offensive side of the ball. And if there was ever a time for the passing attack to wake up and Nussmeier to have the game we've been waiting on, because we just talked about it, he could have had it. He put a ball on the money. Hilton dropped it. Surprise. He had a ball to Nick Anderson that he possibly could have made a little bit more effort on. The opportunities were there. The weakness of this Vanderbilt defense is in the secondary. You're going to be able to throw on this team. Pavia against Alabama, which is a comparable defense to what LSU is going to put on the field. LSU, I understand, and the numbers stopping the run for LSU doesn't look spectacular. This defense is better than the numbers that you're seeing. You saw the explosive run against South Carolina. Other than that, that defense basically pitched a shutout. I think they're going to have Pavia running to nowhere like they had Sellers doing. And Lenore Sellers is 10 times the athlete that Diego Pavia is. I just don't. Pavia played really bad against Alabama. I understand this is a much better Vanderbilt team than what we've seen in years past, where they have more weapons around him and a better defense. I still think that the wrong team's favored here. I don't think that LSU should be getting points. So I will take LSU plus 2.5. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I guess the thing that Vanderbilt's really good at is on third down offensively. I think they're second nationally in third down offense. So it's really going to be, can LSU put them in some third and longs, you know?
Yeah.
Make third down hard on them.
I mean, I still think the defense is fucking really, really good. Like, really good. And I was not impressed with how Pavia played against Alabama. He did not look good at all.
Yeah.
Like, he's the reason they didn't win that game. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Could be, like I said, I don't know. I just think I don't think LSU should be getting points in this situation. But this is one of those spot plays that the system plays where the ranked teams and the team with the worst rankings favored at home, and people are going to be all over it. I don't care. I'm still taking LSU with the points. All right, I have one more, and then my lock, I believe. How many more do you have?
One more.
It's your lock?
No.
Oh, one more and then a lock. Gotcha. Go with your one more.
We're going to go to USC at Notre Dame.
Interesting.
And we're going to lay 8.5 here with Notre Dame.
I felt like that's the spot, but dude, that USC offense is fucking
They're good. But Notre Dame offensively is also really good.
Yeah, Carr's playing pretty well.
Yeah, that's where – so, like, I think USC's number 1 in yards per play on offense. Notre Dame's 6th nationally. They the big thing here is while Notre Dame defensively is not as good as they were last year, USC defensively, I have major concerns here, right? I'm not sure how many stops they're going to be able to get here against Notre Dame. Another thing to keep an eye on is while Notre Dame defensively is not as good as they were last year, they're still turning people over at a high rate, right? They're 13th nationally in takeaways per game. I think that's going to be the difference here. Maava this year has done a decent job protecting the ball, but I'm afraid we see him revert to the Maava of the pass here. So we're going to take Notre Dame minus 8.5.
All right, I'm going to take it as well. Like I said, I was open to ads. I do feel like Notre Dame is the right side. Another thing to consider here is the injuries at running back for USC that they had at last game. Coming into this game, currently in the forecast, there's weather. There's potential thunderstorms in the forecast. It's early. That can obviously change. If that happens, undoubtedly that favors Notre Dame, in my opinion. And this is a Notre Dame team that has no room for error, just like last year, rinse and repeat. They have to – and on top of having no room for error, they don't really have anybody noteworthy on the schedule outside of this game against USC. So if you come out and you pull a Signetti and you beat the dog shit out of this team to kind of let the committee know, like, we're supposed to be in, and it's just like last year with Northern Illinois. They lost and they had to run the table. If there's weather in the forecast, do you want to trust Maava after a good win against Michigan? But that's a hard defense to go against. Now you got to go cross the country into a thunderstorm, basically, against a team that's going to grind it out. And I think Notre Dame's the spot. So I will jump on the Irish as well. And then I forgot I have two more and then my lock. Bam, all you have is your lock?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go to North Texas and UTSA. North Texas is 4-point favorites. We just saw them play midweek last week against South Florida. And they jumped out to an early lead, and then South Florida just fucking beat the brakes off of them. It was some unfortunate turnovers and then some bad quarterback play. But I texted you because Mestemaker, the quarterback for North Texas, he's good. He is good, and he looked really sharp to start the game. But I was like, I remember this kid because last year in the bowl game he came in and he never played quarterback in high school. He played safety. I'm like, we're good then. Great. We're gonna we were in the midst of an incredible bowl season run. I was like, put another one in the win column. He fucking lit it up and gave us one of our few losses. But I remember him, too, because he went to the high school in Austin, Texas that I nearly went to. He went to the same school. Like, I toured the school and all of that. So that's why it stuck out to me. He's good, and he looked sharp until he didn't, and then the wheels came off pretty quick in this game. But it's going to be a much easier go for North Texas here. We are going to lay the 4 points with the mean green. This UTSA team, they still have, I think it's McCown, who's been there for quite some time. Let's see. So North Texas is number 19th in the nation in passing yards allowed. The secondary is pretty good. They also have the number 11th red zone offense. I trust this Mestemaker kid to bounce back from a tough game. Offensively, they've got some solid skill position players, especially the running back Hawkins has been coming on as of late and kind of emerging as the lead guy. North Texas is number 23rd in the nation in third down conversions, where UTSA is number 104. I just think you can trust – McCown's a good quarterback. He's been there for a long time. But I think you can trust this North Texas and Mestemaker at quarterback to kind of bounce back and get the win here. So I'm going to go North Texas -4. I considered making this my lock for what that's worth, but I didn't. And then my last one before my lock, I'm going to the Holy War. I bet it every year. BYU, Utah. BYU's at home, getting 3.5 points. Total sits at 49.5. We're going to fade them again. We keep trying to fade BYU. They keep winning. Or I say that. We were on them. We were on West Virginia. They covered against them. Fresno should have just Arizona should have just covered. I'm all over the place. Arizona should have just covered last week against BYU. I don't think that Bachmeier's that good of a quarterback. He's not. So he can use his legs, and he's tough and all that, blah, blah, blah. I'm going Utah. We're going to lay the points here. Could be walking into a trap. It's a tough place to go play. The environment's going to be crazy. I love the Holy War. It's the perfect jersey combination game, the red and blue, and it's always an electric environment, 7 p.m. kick. But I trust Utah's defense to, again, put Bachmeier into obvious passing down situations, and I just don't think he's good enough passing. I think BYU's been dealing with – they've got some – there's going to be some first-half suspensions, I'm pretty sure, from some targeting. But their linebacking core has been kind of in and out of the lineup. Kelly and then Gasker. They've been in and out with injuries and targeting suspensions and all of that, so that could play a key role here. We saw Utah against Texas Tech look really bad. I think that's more of a testament to how good this Texas Tech defense is versus how bad the Utah offense looked. BYU does have a solid enough defense, but I think you can count on Utah to sustain drives and put points up on the board where BYU is not going to be able to match them. So I'm going to lay the 3.5 points with Utah on the road in the Holy War. Did you look at this one at all?
I would lean Utah, but I guess they're just afraid of the hook there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. But I'm just not a believer in this kid, in Bachmeier. I'm not. And he didn't play well against Arizona. He was throwing interceptions, and he should have fumbled the fucking game away. Somehow they didn't fall on the ball. So this is the spot. The chickens come home to roost. I think Utah is going to handle business here. So all we have left is our locks, correct? Alrighty, no such thing as a lock, but if there was...
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need... Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, we're going to LSU at Vanderbilt. We're going to take LSU plus 2.5. All right. I think it's going to be a really good game. Vanderbilt this year, better defensively last year. That's the biggest thing to look at in this game. Offensively, they're a little bit better too. I think they're somewhat dependent on the explosive play. Against Alabama, they had 135 rushing yards on 19 attempts. But outside of a 65-yard rush from Cedric Alexander and a 36-yard rush from Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt really didn't have much success running the ball against Alabama. LSU's good against the run, not great, but one thing they do other than last week against South Carolina, the one rush is all season they've been pretty good limited explosive rushes. Offensively, at this point, it's LSU versus LSU, right? I thought they looked improved last week, despite the 2 Nussmeier interceptions. But it's like, dude, I'm not really freaking out about that much. Because I rather my quarterback be willing to throw the ball.
I agree with that.
If he throws it to the other team, luckily we were able to still win. But I would like him to be a little bit more careful. But I think the play calling too, man, it's like we can't score in the red zone. And that's the biggest issue.
No, I agree. I do think it is noteworthy. Brian Kelly had a play sheet out there. So I think it's clear that Brian Kelly is starting to put his influence a little bit, which means that they're changing the philosophy in some form or fashion, you know? And I think you saw it. That ball to Hilton was a good ball. Like, it was razor-thin margin from being a completely different outcome and a completely different narrative on the offense, you know?
Yeah. And the big thing I like about Nussmeier is it hasn't happened yet this year. It almost did against Ole Miss. But, man, I think if he gets the ball and LSU's down, he's going to march them down the field and win the game. I thought that if we were able to stop Ole Miss, despite how poorly we played for the whole game, I thought that if LSU got the ball back, they were going to go down and score a touchdown and win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking really making a bad decision here if you're not even on if you're not on LSU. I'm like, I feel like this is a slam dunk. I was like, fuck, maybe not. All right, my lock of the week is my lock of the week is going to be Baylor +3 against TCU. And this is going to be, you're going to see bad defense in this game. You're going to see a lot of points, at least you're expected to. I don't know what's going on with this TCU team. I think you've got two good quarterbacks, obviously, with Robertson and Hoover. But I'm going to rely on the Baylor Bears to come through and off a bye. That's the critical thing here. In the Dave Aranda era, Baylor comes out and lays a big number off a bye. Last year, off their first bye, Baylor went on the road to Texas Tech as 7-point underdogs. They won 59-35, nearly put up 60 points of offense. Second bye week, they went on the road to West Virginia as a 1-point favorite. They won by 2 touchdowns. This TCU team, 1-12 in Big 12 play. I'm sorry, 1-2 in Big 12 play. They just haven't really looked good. And then Hoover, I don't know. It leaves me scratching my head. I trust the Baylor offense with the weapons that they have and the balanced attack that they have the ability to go with. I'm taking Baylor +3 as my lock of the week. So, what are your thoughts on that? Anything?
I didn't get to watch the game against Kansas State, right? But, like, you're going into that game. It's a game I noticed, and I'm like, man. I don't know. Kansas State kind of looked like shit for a bit. But then it's like TCU really, man, they looked so bad against Arizona State in the second half.
So I'll give you the cause for concern.
I imagine that with a score like that, Kansas State was able to kind of dominate them at the line of scrimmage, just like Arizona State did.
Yeah, so the turnovers were the biggest issue. Hoover threw 2 picks. They had a fumble. Kansas State dominated time of possession, but they got outgained by 100 yards. Let me give you the worry here with the Baylor defense because it's fucking terrible. Terrible. Against Kansas State, Baylor gave up 500 yards of offense. So Kansas State's clearly – they got things going on the offensive side of the ball a little bit. But this Baylor defense is not good. This is Dave Aranda off a bye, though, and this is I trust the Baylor offense more than I do Hoover and TCU. I think it's a little more – they want to get it to the kid from Boise, McAllister. And outside of that, it becomes a little more – there's just not as many weapons. You got Trigg, you got Hawkins, you've got Cameron, and then you got the running backs. You got so many different guys for Baylor. I'm taking the 3. I'm taking +3 with Baylor as my lock of the week. Bam, what is your lock?
Going to LSU at Vanderbilt.
Jesus Christ.
I am also on LSU, +2.5.
All righty. Was that the ad, or was that the one you came in with?
That was the one I came in with. Texas Tech was the ad.
Okay. All righty. There you go. So y'all are both on LSU as your lock. I'm on LSU standalone. Or not as my lock. All righty. That is our best bets for college. To recap, I'm taking Delaware -2. Louisville, Miami under 52. Cal -10. I am taking Minnesota +8.5. LSU +2.5. Georgia -7. Notre Dame -8.5. Utah -3.5. And my lock of the week is Baylor +3.
We're going LSU +2.5 for the lock. Minnesota +8.5. Georgia -7. And Notre Dame -8.5.
Okay, going LSU +2.5 for the lock of the week. And Texas Tech -4.5 first half.
All righty, there you go. That is our best bets for college football week 8. We're now going to recap NFL and then give you our best bets for NFL week 7. It's weird. You have like bad episodes and in the middle of it, I'm like, my ability to formulate like a thought process is just not great right now. So I apologize to the listener, but all that matters is if we give out winners. And that's what we've been doing in the NFL. This has been a great start to the year. Like I said, I'm north of 61%, just barely. You're north of 62%. Bam, you're
13-9.
Yeah, so you're having a good year as well. And it was another positive week for me. We hit the lock. To recap real quick, Eagles on Thursday. Just wrong side is really what it boils down to. You kind of like late to the boat to, at least that's the way I felt. I felt late to the party to the realization that the Eagles have issues on the offensive side of the ball. And you saw it front and center. And it was, when I broke the game down, it was like my longest breakdown of a Thursday play that we've ever had. And it was just wrong across the board. And I said, like, the worry is that the D-line for the Giants is able to get off and really bother and disrupt the offense for Philly, and they're having no success running the ball and blah, blah, blah. That's, yeah, all of that. Quinyon Mitchell got hurt. As soon as he went out, it was a done deal. They couldn't send pressure because they couldn't guard on the back end. So Eagles -7 was a loser. We had Cardinals +6.5. Bad number. This was before Kyler got ruled out. I didn't think Kyler was going to miss. And then Jacoby Brissett came in and had a legacy game. This was a contest play for us, too. I forgot to recap that. The Cardinals could have won this game. This closed at maybe 8.5 in favor of the Colts. So we had the worst number pretty much possible. Doesn't matter. Cardinals covered it, and they nearly won the game. Seahawks +1.5 on the road against Jacksonville. It was, I think, an 8-point win for the Seahawks. The Seahawks are fucking good. They just are. And that's what – this was also a contest play. And we were talking about it because this is I like both of these teams. I've been on both of these teams a good bit this year. But as I was texting you about my thought process, I was like, I think I just talked myself into the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly the right side. Sam Darnold's playing very well. Trevor Lawrence, it's tough because he is dumb. And that's really what it boils down to. He's dumb. He's super talented, but not bright. Lions and Chiefs over 52.5. This had a chance. Lions had the ball. It was the wrong side, but it had a chance. There was 47 points scored. Lions had the ball. Jared Goff goes 4 straight incompletions, and they turn it over on downs. So really, that's the thing about the Chiefs. They never play prevent. Almost never. Like, Spagnuolo's still sending pressure when you would think, like, okay, they're going to drop back and you're going to take the underneath and you're going to get in the red zone, and then it's going to be, can you score in the red zone? Chiefs don't give a fuck. They're sending pressure the whole time. We had 47. So that Goff caught touchdown wasn't the difference. But I was like, okay, fuck. As soon as that happened, and that they literally took up 2/3 of the first quarter and came away with a field goal. I was like, we're fucked. And they were moving the ball methodically and all that, and you get down there and you don't get the touchdown. I'm like, that's not good. And then on Monday night, the lock of the week was the Bears +4.5. They win the game outright. Funky game, rain, all of that. Krosky Merritt fumbled. That was very good timing. But the Bears, I think, they were up 13-0. And I think that's what it was. And Roma Dunze had a touchdown in the back corner. They called the illegal formation because the tackle wasn't up on the line of scrimmage. I'm so tired of seeing that, where it's like he's a couple like inches off the line of scrimmage, I guess, of where he should be, and it takes a touchdown off the board. It's like, line the fuck up where you're supposed to be, but it's like, I feel like that's so subjective, like where you could call that often, and they like pick and choose when they want to do it. So it was unfortunate timing that it was on a play that was a touchdown, but the Bears got the win on the road off the bye week. I felt like it was a good spot for them. So 3-2 on the week brings me to 22-14, 4-2 in my locks of the week. Like I said, we're making our money in the NFL so far this year. We're gonna get college to catch up, but it's been a good run so far. You had 4 plays, a 2-2 week. Any takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, we lost Thursday. Buccaneers -3, just Baker. I mean, it's like you start to, Ibuka went down in this one, right? And then you're like, oh shit, who's the receivers? And it's like, oh,
Tez Johnson.
Yeah, they'll find him.
Yeah.
Baker finds him.
No, that play he had to move the chains on third down where he's scrambling, making people miss, and then fighting. Like, he's just a good football player. And it's funny. I see everybody, like, because obviously we're Saints fans and we grew up Saints fans. And so you're supposed to, it's the Falcons, number one. You're supposed to hate as a Saints fan. But then the Buccaneers, too, more recently because they had their success with Tom Brady and all of that. But, like, the Falcons, for example, I'm like, I fucking love the Falcons. The Falcons have made us a shitload of money this year. And I'm watching them. I'm like, I'm a fan of, as we've gotten more serious into betting and all of that, and especially the last few years, but I'm a fan of whoever the fuck I have money on. So I see people like, God, I hope the Falcons lose. I'm like, I don't. Or I have people text me like, man, the fucking. I'm like, I hope the Falcons win by 100. I hope it's not even competitive. But also too, like, I see people like shit on the Buccaneers and all that, and I get it. But I'm watching Baker, and it's like, how are you not extremely impressed with the way he's playing? Like I said, if I had to vote today, I would say he's the MVP. With what he's doing with the supporting cast around him, the way he's playing the game-winning drives, like literally going and winning the game yourself. He won the Texans game himself. That should have been a win for us. But he breaks the tackle and goes and moves the chains. So it's been an incredible run. It shows you how inept the Browns organization is for letting him get out the door and painting him as the bad guy. And yeah, I'm extremely impressed with the way Baker Mayfield's playing. I do think we maybe see a little bit of regression, but you got to tip your cap. You got to be impressed with what you've seen. So 2-2 on the week. Yeah, you had we had double locks on a Monday. Both 4.5-point underdogs. Both won outright. The Falcons are good.
Yeah.
So
the Bills have some issues.
They do.
I think they're trying to do too much. They just need to probably run the ball a little bit more.
Well, yeah,
because they kind of trying to.
They struggled to run it against New England.
Yeah, and then the Falcons were kind of struggling to score there in the second half, and it was a 7-point game for a while. With the Bills kept getting the ball back, and I'm like, eventually, man. But then they were just trying to do too much, like.
Yeah, and then fucking Penix. I don't know why they even called that fucking play. He almost threw a pick six. At the end of the game, they were only up 7. He almost threw a pick six. It was dropped. I was like, oh my God, what are y'all doing, dude? They could salt the game away, basically. He tried to give it to him, but yeah, they had the Bills had 134 yards rushing. So I guess like on paper they had some success, but it's like they weren't though. That's the thing. Like when you were watching, like Cook had 87 yards, but they couldn't really run it against New England. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to me that they still don't have like their big offseason get was Josh Palmer. Like, if I'm the Bills, I'm fucking going to get a superstar wide receiver. Like, they tried to do with Amari Cooper, but it was past his prime, like, way past his prime. He wasn't the guy they should have went to go get. Like, how do you not have more weapons for Josh Allen? At least one. Like, because Khalil Shakir's a great, like, secondary option. You need that number one guy. And I guess you had it with Diggs, and they – I mean, Diggs is a fucking cokehead. But, yeah, I don't know. So, 2-2. But you hit your lock again, 15-9 overall, 4-2 in your locks of the week. It's been a very good run in the NFL. Like I would say collectively, it's been our best.
Yeah.
So, Bam, how did you do?
So I had 3 plays, had the Eagles -7. We know how that went. And then I had the Saints, Patriots under 45.5. Got pretty lucky that there weren't many points scored in the fourth quarter there. It was just kind of stalling out. And then I had, as my lock of the week, I had the Titans +4.5. They suck. They lose to the Titans by 10. I mean, the Raiders by 10.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that one last week.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see money coming in on Tennessee there.
Yeah.
Because that line moved, you know.
Yeah, it did.
And I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking the wrong way. I wasn't here to say this last week, but initially I was leaning Raiders, considering how lucky the Titans were the week before to even be.
Well, that's what I told
in
them.
that game at all.
That's what we were talking about, and that's what I was like. They had no business winning that game. They went in. I was like, I'll fucking party, and Cam Ward's getting fucking annihilated. Yeah, but in all seriousness, they played like shit. They had no business, and you were on them.
Yeah,
Like, you
no, it's the
needed that.
luckiest thing I've ever been a part of.
That interception resulting in a fumble for a touchdown, that's when it was like, oh my God. And then DeMarcado fumbling.
Yeah, but the before that was the DeMarcado dropping the ball at before he crosses, and then it's like Cam Ward's escaping to his left and he throws it, it gets tipped, it's intercepted. I'm like, shit. And then you're watching and the ball comes out. I'm like, that ain't a touchdown, dude. I'm like, there ain't no fucking way. I'm like, he had to be down.
No, it's crazy, like the series of events, because if it starts with DeMarcado. If he doesn't fumble that, they're up 3 or 4 scores. Like, it's a done deal. It's over.
Yeah, it was a similar collapse and then when I was on the Panthers earlier this year against the Cardinals. It's like
bad teams find a way to lose.
Issues with the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, bad teams find a way to lose. That's really what it boils down to. And it's like we've seen it throughout the years where it is like this improbable series of events, but the good teams don't allow that to happen. The Ravens allowed it to happen against the Bills. Come to find out, the Ravens aren't as good as we thought. So you got to get lucky along the way sometimes, but my God. But yeah, so I understood. We talked about it. I was like, I didn't feel great about the Raiders, but like both of those teams look like dog shit. But you just feel like there's a little bit more stability on Vegas' side, at least in that matchup where with the Titans, they're just bad. And like that's why they got rid of Callahan and they're just not in a good spot currently.
Yeah. So that puts me at 13-9 on the season. 3-3 on my locks of the week.
Alrighty. All right, we turn our attention to NFL Week 7. Starting it off with the Thursday night matchup. Steelers and Bengals. Bengals at home getting 5.5 points. The total sits at 43.5. You and I spoke a little bit about this one. Do you want to lead the way or you want me to lead the way?
You can go ahead.
Alrighty. We're going to take the Bengals plus 5.5 at home. Reason being, I just think it's too many points for a Steelers offense that I don't like. I'm not sold on Rodgers. Everything's very conservative, very short throws, get the ball out quick, trying to get yards after catch. But I'm not a believer in this Pittsburgh secondary. The clear and obvious worry is that Joe Flacco's a statue. The offensive line's not great. The pass rush for the Steelers is good. You get Herbig back, who came back last week, and you get a lot of these pass rushers they've got one of the best pass rushers in the league. So that's the cause for concern. If the offensive line can hold up for a split second, I think you are going to see success on the outside with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and if Yosivas could catch a fucking football. It just feels like too many points here. At 5.5, this should be more around 3.5, 4. So at 5.5, we're going to take the Bengals, getting points. You go out and you get Flacco, crazy mid-season trade at the quarterback position. That's how bad Jake Browning played. I mean, Jesus Christ. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Flacco. No, I really do. I think that it was a smart move by the Bengals. I think it's kind of strange that the Browns traded him to their division rival.
Yeah, did you hear Tomlin? Tomlin was in the post-game presser, or maybe it was this week, talking about the matchup. I'm blanking on the Browns GM name, but he referred to him by name. He's like, I guess he maybe knows a little bit more than I do, because I don't understand how you take your day one starter and you trade him to a division rival. Like, he was pissed. He was not happy that Flacco's now on the Bengals. But it is a good point. That's the guy you named your starter day one, and you traded him to a team that's obsolete at this point, not going to contend for the division. It doesn't really make sense. Because I do think Flacco, while the physical traits are no longer there in terms, or at least with mobility, he's a statue back there because he's old. He's still going to be able to play the point guard position and get the ball to. That's why we were talking about the Bengals, whatever it was. Who'd they play? You were on them. They covered. You were on the right side. But I was like, you're getting to a position here where it's like there's still a ton of talent. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football, and you saw it against the Packers last week where they tried to They gave him shit. They hit the gritty right in front of him. Valentine did, looking like a dipshit. And then Jamar Chase came right back and fucking caught an incredible touchdown.
Yeah, that was a sweet touchdown.
Got the last laugh on him. And it's like, this dude's incredible. That, like, he's the best wide receiver in football. Top 2, you could argue if you want. But T. Higgins is like, they have the weapons. You just need somebody to get them the ball. And Flacco can do that if he has time. So if the offensive line doesn't have a horrible performance, I think the Bengals can hang in this game. And on a short week with the Steelers, like I said, I'm just not a believer in Rodgers. Maybe I'm wrong, but just with the way they're playing too, with the very conservative short throws and all of that, I just don't like it. And I don't like the Steelers secondary. I think it's overrated. You got Ramsey. Who cares? I don't give a shit. I don't think Porter Jr. is that great. I think that if given time, I think that the Bengals wide receivers will win on the outside, basically. So, I mean, is there any other reason that you like Cincy?
Yeah, I don't think I don't like the Steelers' offense, but I don't think their defense is really that great.
No, yeah, I agree. And Tomlin laying points on the road, historically not great. Not a typical good spot for Mike Tomlin where he goes and covers the number. It's not a typical spot where we see the Steelers have success. So Bengals plus 5.5 will be the Thursday night play for Nick and myself. Which way are you going, Bam?
I lean the under here, 43.5.
I lean the under as well. If you would have said you lean the over, I would have said you need your head examined.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the under 43.5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't like the refusal to push the ball down the field. And we saw it with Rodgers with the Jets. Everything was short. Same thing. It was Hut, get it out real quick to the side, and he's just doing the same thing in Pittsburgh. So, I don't know. All right, we go to Sunday. How many total do you have?
I think 4.
I have a potential like 7. But I got to pump the brakes a little bit. I got to minimize it. I know one I'm scratching off. Are you on the London game? You hate the London game.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I am. I am going to take the Jaguars. +3. So, no Devin Lloyd is a big loss for that Jaguars defense. He's one of the better linebackers in the league right now. He's playing incredible. This guy who had the 99-yard pick six against Mahomes. The biggest thing here, and I don't have an official word. I'm taking the risk because this, at the point in time that we record, I'm assuming that Puka is not going to play. And I think that that's a gigantic loss for this Rams offense. He's the identity of the offense. You can make a serious argument, the best wide receiver in football. Thank you, Bam. But also, too, the Rams' offensive line, they really struggle in pass protection, and it doesn't look like Havenstein is going to play. So I think we're going to be able to see the Jaguars get pressure on Stafford. And then Brian Thomas, I don't know if you noticed, Brian Thomas woke up a little bit last week and had some success. There was rumors that Liam Cohen was going to switch things up and line him a little more on the outside as opposed to being in the slot. And that's what you saw. And you saw them be able to get the ball to him a little bit more and him have a little bit more success. The problem here, number one, first and foremost, is that Trevor Lawrence is an idiot. That's the biggest issue. But the Jaguars have played in the London game, I would imagine, I'd be willing to bet more than any other team because the owner was kind of the one pushing for that. You got to imagine they've got the formula down. When to fly in, when to fly out, where they're staying, this and that. Jaguars in London, getting points. I'm on it. +3. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I like Jacksonville, but I really like the Rams.
I do too. The Rams are good, but it's been like the Rams have kind of come back to earth a little bit, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost to the Niners, you beat Baltimore, but I want to say I wasn't watching that one super closely, but I think that it was 3-3 at half. And then I want to say there was some bad fumbles. I think it was it had to be.
So the Jaguars have played the most in London. They've played 11 games.
Okay. Yeah,
as of October of 2024.
The owner, was it Khan or whatever? He's was like the first one pushing for that expansion. I think they said he wanted to have like his franchise over there. I could be pulling that out of my ass, but they played over there every single year. It felt like so. But yeah, I mean, you had the 7-point win against the Colts for the Rams. The Rams looked like Stafford was playing like the best quarterback in the league, and the offense looked incredible and this and that. You take Puka out. I understand you still got Devontae Adams and all of that, but he's not what he once was. He's still productive, but now you gotta, dude. It felt like every pass was going to Nakua. He was the offense was centered and predicated around him. You take him out, that's a giant loss. So yeah, I'm taking Jaguars +3. Early start for us. I don't even know what fucking time it is over there. Whenever it kicks off, I'm assuming probably midday to a night game. But anyway, I'm taking the Jaguars. It's London. This guy, you think they're gonna fucking go over there and lose? This guy loves going to London. Mm-hmm. Jaguars are gonna win. What is your first one for Sunday?
Let me check, see what the best number is.
What game is it?
I was thinking about taking the damn Jets.
Yeah, I can't. I can see why you're thinking about taking them. The public's going to be all over Carolina, I would imagine. The Jets just had -10 passing yards. This is like that quintessential spot where it's like you have to take the Jets because that's how bad they looked last week. Everyone's going to be on Carolina. You just got the win against Dallas. Jets are the spot. I ain't fucking doing it.
The thing
Garrett Wilson's probably going on IR.
The thing with Carolina is they're 0-3 on the road, right? And some of these games, really all of them should have been lost by a large margin. Mm-hmm. The Jaguars, they lost by 16. The Cardinals, they lost by 5. But this was a game where we were just talking about. The Cardinals could have been up 3 possessions there late in the fourth quarter. And Kyler Murray ended up throwing an interception, and a lot of things after that happened that ended up making this game close in the end. And then their third loss on the road was a 42-13 loss against the Patriots. So far this year, just the Panthers haven't played great on the road. I'm still like it's an impressive win to beat the Cowboys, I think.
The biggest thing for me is Dowdle has come out of nowhere. It's like an incredible running back.
Right.
So that's worrisome. You take Wilson out of the occasion. I'm not trying to talk you off of it. I think the Jets are the only side that I could consider. But my fucking God, they suck. I had written down, I didn't even mention it, but it was one of my bullet points. That might have been the worst offensive performance I've ever seen in my life. They faked a 4th down punt, picked it up to just run the clock out.
But, yeah, we'll go Jets +1.5.
Okay. All right. Bam, what's your first one for Sunday? Bam said he's going like 5 plays this week.
I have 4 total.
So 3 and a lock. Go with 1.
Yep. My lock is on Sunday.
Wait, why are you going with
I don't
your
have
lock?
any. No, I'm saying my only play on Sunday is my lock.
You have 3 other plays on Monday?
I have 2 plays on Monday.
Oh, in your Thursday play. Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, then we'll come back to you. I am going to go to, let's see, the Commanders going on the road to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys coming off the loss to the Panthers. I'm going to take the Cowboys getting 2.5 on the home field. It's a bad Commanders secondary. It's a great Cowboys offense. I understand Cowboys, like I said, just lost to the Panthers, and that's great. I don't think that this Commanders defense is good, and I think Dak's probably in the midst of the best season of his career. George Pickens, my God. CeeDee Lamb, does he come back this week? Possibly so. What it boils down to is if it's a shootout, which that's what we've been seeing with Cowboys games. I trust Dak more than I do Jaden Daniels at this current point in time. I don't think the Commanders, obviously they've got the injuries with McLaurin, and Debo's been battling injuries throughout the year. Krosky Merritt with the fumbles, which way are they going to go with running back now? Are they going to punish him for fumbling twice in the last 2 games in critical situations? I just trust the Cowboys offense more than I do the Commanders, and I think defensively on both sides of the ball, there's nothing to write home about for either one of these. So if it's going to be in a shootout here, I'm going to take Dak getting points on the home field. So Cowboys plus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm on Cowboys as well.
Sounds like a contest play.
Cowboys have best offense in the NFL. They also have the worst defense. So that's why they're a team with a losing record. But like you, I mean, I just think, other than there was one oddball game, it was against the Bears, right?
Yeah.
Their only game that wasn't really close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems like, man, maybe at the end of the day, Lamb going down for those games might have developed something between Dak and Pickens, right? That
Pickens is like an enigma where it's like we've talked about it. He'll drop the easy ones, but dude, he might be like one of the best talents of all time and also just dumb. Like that, he got the ball and he's holding it like a punter's about to kick it. Like he's holding it by the nose of the ball and just like side hurdles the guy on the run. Like that was an incredible play. But that's like the most George Pickens play I've ever seen, where he catches it, refuses to secure it, refuses to even hold it correctly. He was holding it by the nose of the ball, hurdling people. Like the most, just the last way you would ever teach somebody to carry the football or do anything on a football field. And he does it and has success doing it. And it's like he'll drop the over the middle wide open slant, but then you throw it up into double coverage on a play that he has no business coming down with, and he always gets it. It really is incredible. Like he's one of the most, like, the difficult play he's always going to make, and then the play where he should just have minimum concentration and he's going to do it, he's like thinking about something else. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to make of
I
it.
agree. He's like, he doesn't give a shit.
No, yeah, like I think he's
like
thinking about like playing 2K or something.
It's like a video game to him, his life.
It is like perplexing. I'm not even kidding, because he is an incredible talent. He really is. He's an incredible talent. And then it's like just lapses in judgment and just, carelessness. But yeah, but I agree. I think CeeDee Lamb going down has opened that door for it. Now,
I think
he had to
when
be
they
wide
come
receiver
back,
1.
When he comes back, the Cowboys are only going to get better offensively, because they're going to have Dak's going to had time to develop that relationship with Pickens to where maybe it wouldn't have happened if Lamb was there the whole time, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I think when CeeDee Lamb comes back, the Cowboys have 2 true number 1 options.
Yeah, I think there's a chance he could come back this week. I could be wrong. I think that there's a chance CeeDee Lamb could play this week. And if he does, great. But yeah, it really boils down to I don't trust this Washington offense. I think Jaden Daniels is can't believe I mispronounced it. He's still a damn good player, and you're seeing it. He played very well against the Bears, I felt like. The interception was a bad throw. But you look at who he's throwing the ball to. His leading receiver was Chris Moore, and then Zach Ertz. Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, Jeremy McNichols, Debo Samuel only had 4 catches for 15 yards. He doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. And then running the ball when they lost Eckler, you've got Krosky Merritt, who can't hold on to the football. And then Jaden Daniels was the leading rusher behind him. They just really don't have anybody. So it's going to have to be a heroic effort from Jaden Daniels, because I think the Cowboys are going to put points up on the board. This is going to have to be Jaden Daniels' best game of the season by far to win this game. So you're going to give me points with the Cowboys, a superior offense. I'm taking them. We're taking them. My next one, are you on Packers Cardinals? Alrighty. I am going to lay the points with the Packers. 6.5 on the road against the Cardinals, like we were just talking about. This Packers offense, in my opinion, seems like it's just been sleepwalking. It wasn't an impressive showing against the Bengals, I didn't feel like, but they still had 400 yards of offense. This is a team that's still not fully healthy. You got Jaden Reed with the collarbone, Watson with the ACL, so we haven't even seen what this Packers offense could look like at its peak, and that's coming. Jacoby Brissett he was a breath of fresh air for this Cardinals offense that had just really been struggling with Kyler and very lackluster. All the numbers in one game went through the roof. ADOT, success on first down, third down, all of that. He was scrambling, keeping plays alive with his legs. It was a remarkable performance from Brissett to cover that number for us. I was very appreciative for it. I don't think game 2 is going to go as well as game 1 did. I think this defense is going to be able to get after him. He was making plays with his legs. I don't think you're going to be able to make those plays against the secondary. Against this pass rush. I think the secondary is good enough, and you got to deal with the fact that Marvin Harrison Jr. got a concussion, and I would imagine is probably not going to play. He doesn't catch me as a guy who's going to battle through any type of adversity. So I don't think he's going to go. I'm laying 6.5 points with the Packers here. I think the Packers are due for one of those. I say due. Nobody's due for shit in this league. I don't think that the Cardinals are good enough to hang in with the Packers. I think the Packers are going to put up a decent number here. So Green Bay minus 6.5. Got any thoughts on that one?
No, not really. I just get afraid laying
I get it on the road. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we'll see. What's your next one for Sunday?
Oh, I just have my lock, I think.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, Bam, what's one of your Monday plays?
You already know who I'm going with. I'm taking Bucks plus 5.5 against the Lions.
I love how he says, I had no idea which way. You already know which way I'm going. I had no clue. Okay. Got a reason why?
I don't know. The Lions just, defensively feel like they're struggling lately, and the Bucks just have a great offense. So if this is a high-scoring game, I think the Bucks can stay within this number.
I do agree with you. The Lions are struggling defensively in the secondary specifically, and I'm assuming Brian Branch is going to be suspended for this game. They said he was getting a 1-game suspension. I would imagine that goes into effect immediately because he beat the shit out of Juju Smith-Schuster after the game. Beat his fucking ass. Juju's a bitch. Juju is a bitch. I don't like Juju Smith-Schuster. He did block him in the back and then stepped over him. You saw the video of that? He smoked the shit out of him in the back and then stepped over him when he wasn't looking. So Branch beat his fucking ass. They had the still shot of Juju with his nose leaking. He beat the shit out of Juju. He deserved it. I'm going to be honest with you. I was considering laying it with the Lions here. You completely didn't listen to us when we said that fucking the wide receiver room from Tampa's decimated. Baker's just playing incredible right now, but is Bucky Irvin still out? I'll hold off on it just out of respect. This could be a bounce back spot for the Lions. I really was very close to laying it with Detroit here. It is a big number though, and look, if you can stop the run like we saw Kansas City do, Goff did not look good in obvious passing situations. It was one of those things where he wants to kind of ride the coattails of Montgomery and Gibbs and kind of when it came down to he had to go to second and third read, he was struggling. It was not a good game from Jared Goff at all. So, all right. Are you on Sunday night, Falcons, Niners? I think the threes are all bought up. So, yeah, they are. So I'll stay off. I was going to take Falcons +3. I think all I have left is my lock as well then. You have one more on Monday, Bam? Or is it your lock?
I have one more on Monday.
Okay, which way are you going?
I'm taking the Seahawks -3 against the Texans at home.
Is there 3?
That's what I got on DraftKings.
Okay. I don't know. I think it might be painted 3.5.
Well, I'll still take him at 3.5. That's all left, but I got him earlier at 3, which sucks.
Well,
but,
yeah. Well, this is right now.
I'll still take it.
Maybe don't. You feel really good about it? Scrap it.
All right, we're scrapping.
You can blame it on. I lean Houston in that game.
Yeah, me too.
And I love the Seahawks. I've been on the Seahawks every damn week. I lean Houston in that game. I'm not on it, but that 3.5, I don't like it.
All right, scrap that one.
You can blame it on me if it doesn't work. I feel like I'm doing you a favor there.
Okay.
All right, all we have left is our locks. All righty, no such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on, come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, my lock of the week is going to be the Minnesota Vikings plus 2.5. At some point, you got to wake up and smell the coffee. The Eagles stink. They can't run the ball. That's the number one problem. Saquon's averaging 3 whatever yards per carry. It's not making life easy for Jalen Hurts, and he sucks. You got to call a spade a spade. This Eagles team is not good. Quinyon Mitchell, I am assuming, is not going to play. And if he doesn't play, Adoree Jackson is just not going to get the job done for you. The secondary for the Eagles is really bad. You've got Carter with the heel injury. It's Tuesday. Are they going to play? I don't know. I'm taking the chance that they're not. I think that we're going to see Kevin O'Connell scheme up a lot of offense for whoever's the quarterback, whether it's Wentz or McCarthy. I don't care. This Eagles secondary is really bad. But then other than that, Brian Flores is going to he's had a lot of time to scheme up and plan for a struggling Eagles offense and a Jalen Hurts that is going to melt under the pressure thrown at him by the Vikings. So I'm taking the Vikings plus 2.5 on the home field. Look, the offensive line for Minnesota is getting healthier. If Van Ginkel plays, I love this. I love this play. I don't think he will, but if he does, he's trending in the right direction. I don't think he's going to be back this week, but if he is, I love it even more. Vikings plus 2.5 is my lock of the week. Brian Flores is going to dial up the pressure. What is your lock of the week?
Denver -7.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under
They're taking on the Giants. It's a home game for the Broncos. Where
They need that fucking juice. They need that.
you know, it's like, look, the Giants were 7-point underdogs last week, and then they won big, right? And now they're 7-point underdogs again. This team's just not that good. I think Dart's gonna struggle big time here. Not many weapons here. Scadaboo's a guy that he plays hard, but like, look, I don't know. I think Denver's got the best defense in the league right now, and the Giants, there's this common belief that like the Giants defense is good. It's really not that good. They're 28th in yards allowed per game. They're 26th passing defense, 22nd rushing defense, 20th in scoring defense.
All they can do is rush the passer. The passer.
So I think Denver runs the ball and plays good defense here. Probably turns the Giants over a couple times and wins big here.
Yeah, I like it. At 7, I like it. That'll probably be a contest play too, I would imagine. Yeah, it's the same exact handicap I had for the Eagles last week. They just stink. The defense, when Quinyon Mitchell went out, like I said, and there was already question marks at the second secondary spot, or at the second cornerback spot, this Broncos defense is the best in the league. And so, yeah, I agree. I don't think Dart's that good. And I don't think he's really done anything to wow you with his arm. A lot of it's been with his legs. And I don't think he's going to be able to have that success. So I agree with you there. Bam, what is your lock of the week?
Commanders at Cowboys. Taking the Cowboys plus 2.5.
There you go. Short and sweet. Consensus. Me and Nick are both on it. I like it. Yeah, I think it's a good spot for the Cowboys. All right, we ran long in this one, so just hit the timestamps. Most people are probably hitting the timestamps anyway. To recap, Thursday night, taking the Bengals plus 5.5. In London, Jaguars plus 3. Packers minus 6.5. The Cowboys plus 2.5. And my lock of the week is the Vikings plus 2.5.
Bengals plus 5.5. Broncos -7 for the lock. Cowboys plus 2.5. And the damn Jets plus 1.5.
Bam.
Steelers, Bengals under 43.5 this Thursday. Monday, Bucks plus 5.5 against the Lions. And then for the lock of the week, the Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5 against the Commanders.
There you go. That is our best bets of the week for NFL Week 7. We're going to put a stamp in the Texans-Seahawks game, too. Because if the Seahawks do cover, you can say I was wrong. If they cover 3.5. Yeah, that is our best bets for NFL Week 7. It's been a very good go so far. A third of the way through the season, we're cashing tickets over 60% against the spread. We're going to try to keep it moving in the right direction. It was a very good contest week for us, our best one so far this year. We went 4-1. We're going to try to come back and do it again. One thing that I saw before we wrap it up, I know we ran long. I saw somebody that we went to high school with, and I'll tell y'all after. And it just opened my eyes to how many people are out here making the dumbest fucking bets of all time. It was a 25. He put it in a Facebook. It was degenerates only Facebook group for sports betting. 25 leg parlay, $5 to win $300,000. The dumbest fucking bet I've ever seen. It was across 3 or 4 sports. MLB, like playoff baseball was in there with college football, college basketball. I think it might have been preseason basketball. And I'm just like, how many people are out here making the dumbest bets of all time? That's $5. Like, okay, yeah, sure. How many different $5 bets are you doing? And it adds up and you do it every single week.
How many? 25?
25 legs, $5 to win.
How many did he win?
I saw he re-comment because somebody was like, that's a fucking loser. Like they were roasting him in the comments. And he's like, well, it looks like I'm making it to the afternoon games. So he must, like, it was a bunch of heavy favorites, but then he had the Colts with the points. Or the Colts laying the points. They obviously didn't cover. Like he was doing spread bets. It's not even just like heavy money line favorites. I was like, oh my God, I almost messaged him. I really almost messaged him like, yo, that's like you never are going to turn $5 into $300,000 because it really probably should be double that. What you would like the odds, the actual, you can't even quantify the actual odds of that bet. But that's such a bad bet. I'm like, how many people are just giving this money away every week, dude? Like the dumbest bet, that was the dumbest one I've ever seen. And I like a very nice person. I felt bad. I almost messaged him and was like, please don't ever do that again. Like, that's never going to win. It'll never win. Anyway. All right. Episode 237 is in the books. Hit the like and subscribe button. This was kind of a long, drawn-out episode, so I apologize for that. But we're going to try to get to the window, cash the ticket. We'll be back next week. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
House always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Practicing this a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.